Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to show this little series here. I'm continuing the series that I did previously. This is the second video in the series. Of course, this is the wishlist cards for the newest set, the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Here is the video for the top 10 cards that I like from the uncommons. Alright, so let's get started. Here's the first one. This is Scytheclaw Raptor. Scytheclaw Raptor is a creature, costs you 17 to play it. It's a dinosaur. It says, when your opponent casts or copies a creature card, your opponent loses life equal to this creature's power. When your opponent casts or copies a spell card, your opponent loses life equal to this creature's power. When your opponent casts or copies a support card, your opponent loses life equal to this creature's power. I do like this one. I think this is a very good one. You can see basically whenever your opponent plays a card, you're going to be able to, send some damage their way. They're going to be able to take some damage. And the damage, of course, is based on how strong this creature is. This is going to be a nice card. I think you can build decks around this card. You're going to probably have to supplement it with other cards that, that bump up this guy's power. And that's going to be something that you can do. It's going to be really nasty. You can make this guy nice and big, and every time they play a card, they're going to take damage. Alright, so, good card. Here's the next card, Selfreflection. Choose target creature, create a token that is a copy of that card onto the battlefield under your control. I do like this one. This is one of those cards that is going to help you to win games, especially if your opponent has a good deck and a good set of creature cards. You're going to be able to copy one of theirs. Excellent, excellent card here. Here's the next one, Swashbuckler's Whip. This is a nice one. I do like Swashbuckler's Whip. It's an artifact equipment card. It says, when this support enters the board, discover 2, then discover 2 again. Discover is one of those new abilities, one of those new mechanics that are involved in this new set here. I think it has some potential uses, but the reason I like this card is that bottom section here. At the beginning of your turn, your first creature gets +3/+3 and gains reach until the beginning of your next turn. I think that's really helpful. I do like that one. I think it's going to be very useful because a lot of times when I'm creating decks, I want a card that's going to be able to help me play some defense, and here's a card that's going to help you to do that. You're going to be blocking all of these flying creatures and the creatures that don't fly, and what I would probably do is team this card up with another card that gives first strike or death touch, something like that, and that's going to be great. Actually, it would be really awesome if you could find a way to get both death touch and first strike as well. That would be great. Here's the next one I like, Captain Storm, Cosmia Raider. This is a nice one. It says, when an artifact support enters the board under your control, your first pirate creature gets +1/+1. So I'm kind of thinking that this would be a good one if you were to play this one with a deck that has a lot of those gold tokens or maybe food tokens, things like that, where you would get a lot of token supports that are also counted as artifacts. I would see that as a nice way to use this and, hopefully buff this creature until it gets really, really big and really, really dangerous. Right, here's the next one, Grasping Shadows. You can read this one here. I'll read it for you. It says, at the beginning of your turn, your first creature gains lifelink and death touch. That's really important. I do like that. I do like the death touch ability. It kind of pairs well with the Swashbuckler's Whip that we just showed. It says, when a creature you control attacks, increase this card's level by 1. If it gets to 4, then transform this card. You can see what the transform is over here. It's a nice land that helps you convert black, right? That's kind of nice. As I mentioned, though, I do like Grasping Shadows along with the Swashbuckler's Whip. Okay, here's the next one. I like this one a lot, Bartolome del Presidio. It's kind of one of those ones that sounds really cool when you say it. But I do like this one. It says, when a creature or artifact card you control is destroyed or loses a reinforcement, this creature gets +1/+1. Here's another card that you can use really, really well with those support tokens, right? So like the gold tokens, things like that. Those ones, if you can put a ton of those on the board, destroy them, you'll gain the benefit of having those gold tokens, but you'll also be able to buff this guy up nice and big. So I see that as one that's really good. Here's the next one, Jade Seed Stones. That's a support card. It says craft 3 creature. So that basically means if you got 3 creature cards in your hand, you can sacrifice those out of your hand, as you can kind of click and see, and then you'll be able to activate the crafted ability here. Right? It says when this card enters the battlefield, all your creatures get +2/+2. I do like that. I think +2/+2 for all your creatures is really a nice buff. You can see it only costs 10, right? So that's nice. That's well worth it. It says here, when this card is crafted, exile this card and create a Jade Attendant. Here's what the Jade Attendant is. It's kind of strong, right? You got the 7/7. It's got vigilance, which is nice. It says when this card enters the battlefield, you gain life equal to the number of artifact cards in your hand. So that's going to help. You know, it's got some limitations, but that will help. When an artifact creature you control attacks for the first time during your turn, this creature gets +2/+2 for each of its reinforcements until the beginning of your next turn. So there again, it's kind of a nice little buff there. There's some limitations, obviously, but you know, this is a good card nonetheless. Right, here's the next one, Lodestone Needle. All right, this is an artifact support card. Craft 1 artifact, so you get rid of that 1 artifact, and then you can use the craft ability. It says here, when this support enters the board, target opposing creature gains stun counter 2. All right, stun counters, those are nice. They disable an opposing creature. And the 2 right there just kind of denotes how many turns that creature is going to be disabled for. So this one will stun them, disable them for 2 turns. Very nice. When this card is crafted, exile this card and create a Guidestone Compass token. This is what the Guidestone Compass token looks like. This is a useful one here. I think this is very useful. At the beginning of your turn, target creature you control explores 1. I do like the explore ability. I think that's one of the really good abilities that have come along just not only recently, but when the first Ixalan set came along. This one of those that's really a game changer if you know how to use it, right? Like there's an old card, Path of Discovery. Excellent card. Go look it up. It's an older card, so you can't use it with the standard stuff, but you know, it's excellent in its usage. Okay, so let's go and take a look at the next one. Kinjali's Dawn Runner. I do like this one. It's got that double strike ability. It's 2/2 and it costs you 9 mana. That's not bad. That's kind of a good deal right there. I'd pay even a little more. This is a very useful creature. You can read the ability. It says when this creature enters the battlefield, it explores 2. So that's going to be pretty helpful there. That's going to be nice. You have the chance of getting a nice buff just straight out of the gate right there. And like I said, it does double strike ability, and that does help you to win games. Okay, here's the last one that I want to point out. This is Spellun King. Okay, I gotta show you this. This is kind of cool. It says when this support enters the board, draw a card. Then if you have a land card in your hand that can gain mana, that card gains half its mana. At the beginning of your turn, create a map token. I like these map tokens. You can see what they do here. They help you to explore just as long as you destroy them. All right, pretty awesome. What I also like is that it counts as an artifact, right? So you can see with the cards that were showed earlier, right? Those ones that talked about the artifacts, you can use this as well. Very good stuff. A lot of uses here. All right, I hope you guys liked the video. This is the second out of all the videos that we're putting out to talk about the wish list cards that we like. And you know what? I hope you guys like this video. Please watch all of those wish list videos and share with your friends, like and subscribe. You guys know the deal. That really helps the channel. All right, that's it for me. Good gaming.